Okay, viewers, welcome back. We are entering into the 10th episode of our discussions with our Revered Father, and taking it forward. I would like to ask Papa that uh, what we have seen is that you have changed. You have been deputed to many banks apart from State Bank of Patiala, maybe to State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Bikaner, Jaipur, and Hyderabad. I have seen one thing, that whichever bank you entered and whatever time you spent, and it is a fact that that bank has performed outstandingly well, so much so that whichever bank you got to lead, that bank has outperformed all other banks during the period when you were in the helm of affairs. So it's a commendable thing, and we would like you to throw light upon your working style and how did you identify the KPIs, and how did you address, and in short span of 2 to 3 years in that bank uh, performs much better than its past, and it gives a good competition to its competitors in your leadership.
Well, there cannot be a standard yardstick, but at the same time, the moment I got an opportunity of, first of all, is that State Bank of Patiala, immediately on promotion, I went to State Bank of Mysore. And after about 2.5 years, about 3 years, I went to State Bank Bikaner Jaipur, and I had a very short stint there. Thereafter, uh, again, I went to State Bank of Patiala. Earlier I was only a deputy general manager. Then on promotion I went to State Bank of Mysore, and then on promotion I went to State Bank of Patiala. And from 91, sometime in May June 91 to maybe 96, 5 years, then I went to State Bank of Hyderabad, from where I retired in 2000. Well, first thing I had to do was, the moment I reached the new bank, or started with State Bank Mysore, so objective was to bring it to the uh, lead position, top position in key areas. And key areas of performance in any bank are, any commercial organization for that matter, commercial bank are uh, three: the deposits quantum, advances quantum, and profit. Now, quantum also includes quality. So nowadays, unfortunately, the quality is not being taken care of. But then I had my monitoring system and knew where the slippages are there. Because I got a lot of opportunity in State Bank of Mysore of cooling my heels, and as general manager planning there, uh, of course, I never protested, but then I was, and I was a part of the management committee. I was advised that they needed the general manager operations who has been successful in operations, and has seen the problems and difficulties of operations, and then uh, come out with suggestions and solutions. The So State Bank of Mysore was the first opportunity, and of course it was sixth or seventh out of seven associate banks. State Bank of Mysore was perhaps fifth or sixth, from where it came moved to third position. Uh, the idea was again multifarious. Multifarious means you have to motivate the staff working under you. You have to tell them the goals which get hazy over the period, and focus gets shifted. And if the you can understand very well if you know something of photography. If the focus is not there, photo will not be clear. So unless the focus is brought, or focus of the staff is brought to the key areas, and key areas are again deposits, advances, and profit. So always my effort was that these three should be paramount, foremost, and important for everyone. And for making these paramount, continuous effort of uh, personal interaction, because wherever I went, whether State Bank Mysore or Bikaner Jaipur or this Hyderabad, uh, the first thing I offered was, which was never done by anybody else earlier than me also. I can boast about it. I'm not against anybody, my predecessor or successor. The people didn't want to move. They didn't want to move out of the protected areas. Hyderabad, of course, I went last. Then I was told that there are Naxalite areas, this and this. I said, nothing will happen. I have nothing to lose. Bank's car is there, bank's driver is there. So I don't carry cash. And if I have to go, I have to meet. I went to the innermost terrorist areas, Naxalite areas, where I could not speak Telugu. I used to take my stenographer, a trusted person, of course, with me, and whatever I wanted to convey to public or general public or farmers or any, I would speak in English and he will translate into this thing, Telugu. Same way, whatever the question was raised by anybody, then uh, he will translate that into English and tell me, and I answer this. The idea is free interaction and sharing of your views, which nobody ever tried, and nobody, and I was told by the farmers, particularly in interior of Andhra Pradesh, that nobody came here and nobody told us this. I told them, look here, our resources are limited, and if I give you some money, so you can help the bank and you can help your brethren. If you return it and we give it to your other brother, so that the same amount of money can be, because bank has no, not the unlimited money, unlimited resources are not there. So whatever deposit from this area is there, I have to distribute that deposit between the farmers. And this came as a surprise to them, because nobody told us like that. But this was not a grant. This is for increasing your production, and after increasing the production, it should be reflected in your marketing, sales, and collection of cash and bank money coming back, so that bank can give it to some of your other brethren who can you make utilize, and thus this way the area will get uh, prosperous and everybody will be praising. Same thing, I remember, I can brag about it, that one of the deputy commissioners or district magistrates or whatever it is, designation was there, of remote area, who was sent there as a punishment, because those areas were considered as a punishment posting areas. Husband and wife, different postings were given. One was district magistrate, the lady was given some other, both were IAS. So in a meeting with them, of course, that is in English. So there, some point rose. Then I made my point. Look here, bankers are doing best, but what are you doing as a government officer, executive? What are your plans? And nobody ever asked him, because nobody had the courage, and I had nothing to lose in asking. So I asked him, and he immediately, well, of course, after the meeting, he said, we will meet after the meeting, because he felt he was foxed. So next, he said, why don't you have Next morning, breakfast with you. Whether are you going back? I said, no, next tomorrow morning. Because I have breakfast together, we'll talk. So then I asked him, okay, look here. Now you have to keep the development and growth of the area in your mind also, not only bank. If the area grows and the area people become prosperous, the prosperity will flow into the bank, and then of course the bank's deposits will grow, prosperity will grow. So I simply asked him, okay, I came by road to this area now. The name is slipping to that. So I came by all this about 300 kilometers on the way I stopped somewhere. And all around I saw barren. And particularly last about 20, 15, 20 kilometers, I saw total barren rocky area and no trees to be seen. What is your periphery or whatever it is? Then he said, okay, about 15 to 20 kilometers. Okay. So why can't you do one thing? Okay, I'll come back to this thing. Okay, makes small self-help groups who will do the tree plantation all along the road coming to your center. And for buying the sort of plants and labor payment, etc., the bank will make the payment. So that is the financing like self-help groups. And I'm proud to say that at that time I got a personal letter from United Nations, okay, that my name has been found, recommended by their committee, that the best self-help groups are being conducted in State Bank of Hyderabad. So they're coming back. So I was telling the district magistrate, okay, once you do this thing, uh, the, the plants will be grown, and then for watering those plants, whatever you need, tubewells, yes, bank will finance it. The pipes, etc., for watering the plants, the bank will finance it. Uh, because ultimately it will come back, and then the self-help group means they must earn profit, and then they can give, because then you develop a nursery from where they will buy the plants. So then we said, what? Like, look here, let's come out. I went along with him outside his house, where whatever is being Bangalore, whatever you may call it. So a huge land around his residence was lying like just like that. Because why don't you convert it into a good garden and a nursery? And whatever you need for doing it, you select your man, not our man. I don't have any contacts in Hyderabad. You select your man whom you think is the best. How to select him, that is your job, because you can find out from the local leading persons, okay, who should run this. And let him run the nursery. So for running the nursery and making payment and selling the plants and then making the roads green all along, and for this pump, the finance was given by the bank. Net result is that I said, "Okay, of course I did it first or second year." So then I said, "Okay, after every actually meeting used to take place quarterly." So I said, 6 months or so, I'll come back again. Again, the same thing. I used to travel by, although some places were connected by air, so I used to travel only by car, taxi, or whatever it is. So I used to carry my own driver, and there I only to study what's the topography and what are the people doing, what can they do. Net result is that now it becomes a story for a particular station. Uh, a name will come to my mind. So it was started by him like that. And next time when I visited, next time when I visited, the well-clad gentleman with the well-dressed with the dhoti and all, white dhoti and a scooter, came back and touched my feet. Not that I wanted anybody to do it, I said, I have not recognized him. I could not speak Telugu. So I asked the district manager, who is he? Because you suggested last time that I should start a nursery. So I encouraged him, and by running the nursery for plants, he earned so much that he purchased a scooter. He came by scooter. So the word went around. A third visit, about after 6 months or 8 months, when third visit I went, and I was stopped by Naxalites. So then driver felt a little disturbed. Because sir, you carry on, no problem. And if they ask you to stop, so you stop. And simple thing is, they were the Naxalites or tribals of the from the interior in their tribal dresses or feathers and this whatnot, simple, uh, different type of headgear and all that. So then, few of them I could not converse with them. Then came, they wanted me to. Of course, they conversed with my driver. Change the turban and put. Okay, I'll place everything, whatever you place, on my turban. No, I'll not take away the turban. And what they want. Their leader, next slide leader of it was raining now, I remember. It was raining. They want you to garland that statue. I will do, no problem. After all, if the area, the majority are not talking of the bank and not considering the bank whenever they are money or they need money, then the bank cannot grow. So I garlanded that and came back, and they wanted me to dance with their all that spears and all, whatever the weapons. And I was happy, they were happy. And the word goes round that the bank can do all these things, and you identify with the masses. First, one thing is you identify the masses. It was never happening, and people were always in my colleagues in Hyderabad were saying, "You went there like this there. So how can you make it? Okay, forget about it. I have different philosophy that I must see what are the general public doing and why are they not coming to the bank and what the bank can do for them. And once we send out the basic principle is okay, one satisfied customer is the best publicity for any commercial organization. A bank is a commercial organization. So wherever they talk of anything of banking, they'll go. Instead of my going everywhere, the local public will go. And third after 8, 9 months, third visit to that place, the DC or district magistrate, whatever they call, he was so happy. So I could not explain. And simply, whatever they said in their own language, they went on. Of course, English they said, "Okay, we are fully satisfied with this." So much so that regional rural bank was there, and we were in a rented building and that district headquarter. And so much so that he immediately announced in the public that such and such place area, one plot is registered in the name of State Bank of Hyderabad. So State Bank of Hyderabad got a plot free of land. Okay. Then I said, well, okay, my say, can you expand your affairs? I don't mind. On rent, I cannot increase. So staff and other things. So I can build a building, that's all. So they gave us a plot. I laid a foundation stone again during a rainy season. And that went on, and everybody again was happy. The same thing travels from word of mouth to even simple, because what I am doing is not that I am doing for somebody, but somebody is watching, okay, where something is happening which can be encouraged. And I still remember having received two letters. Okay, we have from United Nations headquarters. Okay, we recorded. I still have with me somewhere in my files. We find that good work has been done by. I first letter was to the bank. Second was to me. Okay, done by you during a field visit. Then again, coming back to that district magistrate nursery, plants along the road, and then small self-help groups of ladies. Whatever job they can do, whatever money they need, bank will give. Whatever amount, forget about it. And I told the manager or whoever was our chief for that local area bank, whatever it is, regional rural bank, okay, whatever is security, you don't bother. If even uh, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 is lost, we will take care of it. Nowadays, hundreds and thousands of crores are being written off. At that time, people are afraid of if that one 10,000, 15,000 goes away. But you rest assured that we will get full protection. Net result is that at least 10 to 15 self-help groups of ladies, some group stitching clothes, some group running grocery shops like department stores, small, and it went on and went. The area was prosperous, and that TC was promoted and transferred to Hyderabad. And that one day I was surprised and sitting in my office in Hyderabad. So that gentleman entered my room. I said, yes, because I have been transferred and my wife also has been transferred to Hyderabad. Okay. He was given some sick unit handed out. Sick units are always there where something has gone wrong, which either they are not manufacturing good quality or they are not recovering the sales or they are bungling with the cash available with them. So I'm like, okay, wonderful. Uh, you are welcome. At the same time, well, it's not my job, but still, since you have come, next time you come with fixed after fixing appointment between 4 and 6 in the evening. We'll have coffee and we'll discuss. So he was given one industry which was virtually gone. Balance sheet, of course, I studied and saw that nothing can be done. And then I suggested ways and means it can be done, this can be done, this can be done, this has to stop, this has to stop. He went on noting, and within 6 months he came back and said, we are successful. So idea is making people and organization around you to grow, and automatically you will grow. And that the word of mouth is the best uh, advertisement, let us put it, public relation. Now, you don't have to go and tell that come to State Bank of Hyderabad. They go and say, why don't you go there and find out? And it so happened. The rest is, of course, it might turn to my, I don't like that. But rest of many things you have to leave to the superpower, that which gives you uh, inspiration, which supports you, which during difficult times you find out a way, and that's the way you proceed. And it went on and on when it went on well. Yes.